Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep the comments coming, and share with a friend, because the sheer stupidity of what we are witnessing day in and day out, it's out of control. Think about this. Yesterday, Trump decided to pause the tariffs for most countries, except, of course, China, which we now have at 125%. Yeah, 70% of all goods consumed by Americans are Chinese products, but we do have this reciprocal tariff now of 125%. Now, there's been a lot of discourse about the reasoning behind the pause, but I want to start this video off by pointing some real fishy business, as people pointed out the potential of the insider trading that went on yesterday. And the question everybody's asking themselves, and I'm sure you are as well, was the pause to help the market, or was it for his billionaire buddies? Because at 9:37 a.m. yesterday, Trump posted this on Truth Social. He posted, "This is a great time to buy DJT." Obviously, he was talking about the market. By the way, the question that I would also like to ask is, will there be an FEC, investigation? Will Pam Bondi start investigating whether it's the Scott Bessents, the Howard Lutnicks, or any of the other insiders who still have interests in these trading platforms? Spencer Hakimian, a hedge fund founder, posted on X talking about the NASDAQ call volume. In it, he turns around and he shows NASDAQ call volume spiked minutes before the 90-day tariff pause was announced. Not a good look at all. Now, the reason that this is important, again, is it shows you people knew in advance that this was going to happen. And they actually waited to just about the last moment before they ended up getting into the market, which of course increases the profitability of the trades for the day, right? You get in at the high, you get in at the absolute low, and then of course you sell hopefully at the high. AOC posted on X in response to his tweet. She posted, "Any member of Congress who purchased stocks in the last 48 hours should probably disclose that now. I've been hearing some interesting chatter on the floor. Disclosure deadline is May 15th. We're about to learn a few things. It's time to ban insider trading in Congress." Yeah, it's something that many have called for. One of the reasons why you want to do that is because it takes away the profit motivation for why people are now wanting to become members of Congress, as opposed to wanting to do the right thing. It's all about them making money. They've actually turned being a member of Congress into a profession instead of a job. Now, as we saw yesterday, Trump announced the tariff pause on X, seemingly before even his administration knew of the change. I mean, senators on both sides were wary of the pause and what it meant for our democracy's future. Play the clip.
I still don't know exactly what his total strategy is. We know what his goal was. I mean, certainly he wants reciprocity. I'm relieved like the markets are relieved. At some point in time, I think it'll stabilize. Again, I don't know what the end game is here yet.
I'm going to be writing to the White House also to find out who knew about this most recent change in tariff policy, because we want to find out whether people are insider trading on the basis of knowledge about this move or that move on tariffs.
And that last comment coming from the Democratic Senator Adam Schiff. But you're hearing Democratic outrage, Casey, and Republican divisions about how this strategy is being implemented. But universally, Republicans relieved, as you heard from Senator Ron Johnson there, that this is not going forward, but still uncertain about what it means in the long term.
Nobody knows. And the reason that nobody knows is because there is no strategy. There is no policy. This is all being done literally by the second. Trump gets a thought, somebody puts it in his ear, and boom, you know what? Let's hold off on the tariffs for now. Let's give him the night. The question everybody should be asking themselves is, if he was going to impose these tariffs as he did, say 1 week ago, before the market took a major $8 trillion tank, think about why not turn and say, I'm going to impose these tariffs, which become effective in 90 days, unless, of course, the leaders of the tariffed countries negotiate in good faith to ensure that we have a free and fair trade. Why not do that instead of sending the market and everybody into chaos? Now, regardless, Trump carried on like a bull. And this is what he said when he was asked why he instituted the change. Not that you're going to get a true answer, but this is what he said. Play the clip.
Just a few hours later, there was a pause put in on the tariffs. Can you walk us through your thinking about why you decided to put a 90-day pause?
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know. They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid, unlike these champions, because we have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents. They wouldn't have done it. And it had to be done. What was happening to us on trade, not only with, you know, if you look at it, not only with China, but China was by far the biggest abuser in history, and others also, but...
Yay. And you got Yippee there, you got Yappy, and you got Yahui sitting directly behind him. You see, Trump has this belief that if you put a group of people behind you, it demonstrates strength. It demonstrates that this is a collective decision. It is not. It is not. This entire trade war is predicated on Trump's ego. He, of course, has to continue to blame. Come on, you know where I'm going with this one. Joe Biden for this economy. Play the clip.
And it's, you know, it's like a patient is sick. You have to do surgery. Patient is very, very sick. And Joe Biden handed us over a country that was in very serious trouble, economically and in every other way. They let China run away with things. They let other countries run away with things.
Let me just remind you that we had the strongest economy in U.S. history when Joe Biden left office. Meanwhile, a reporter then asked Trump why he changed his mind about the pause. Remember, first he said, there will be no pause. Then all of a sudden, there's a 90-day pause. Play the clip.
Because you said that these tariffs would go into effect on Monday. You said no pause, and today there is a pause. So how can people believe your words today?
It's not a question of that. You have to have flexibility. I could say, here's a wall, and I'm going to go through that wall. I'm going to go through it no matter what, and keep going, and you can't go through the wall. Sometimes you have to be able to go under the wall, around the wall, or over the wall. These guys know that better than anybody, right? You got to go around them sometimes. You're not going to go through them. So I consider, you know, I think in financial markets, because they change. Look how much it changed today.
You know, what would be great is if we were able to read the minds of those people that is standing behind them, because I suspect, I would say probably 5 out of those 6 is saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, I want to show you a compilation from the last week of Trump saying that he wouldn't be issuing a pause. This isn't my words. These are his. Play the clip.
Would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that.
Will you do a 90-day pause? Would you consider that?
Or Bill, yeah, you know, I think that the president is going to decide what the president's going to decide.
Here's the thing. This is not a negotiation. There is no postponing. They are definitely going to stay in place for days and weeks. That is sort of obvious.
Yeah. What's obvious? He caved. And that's okay. It's okay. Maybe he's finally being advised by people who have some knowledge or experience. Harry Enton was on CNN talking about Trump's economic approval rating. Play that clip.
Has this affected the overall feelings toward the president?
Yes, let's talk about the economic approval ratings, right, of Donald Trump. That was a strength of his in the first term. He came in with a net approval rating on the economy on the plus side, plus 6 points. Look at where it's fallen to now. down all the way into the gutter, well south of minus 10 points. It is the worst that a president has ever been on the economy at this point in their term. And then how does it overall impact his approval rating, right? What are we talking about? There are only 2 presidents who have net approval ratings negative at this point. One of them was Donald Trump in his first term, and the other one, Donald Trump in his second term. Donald Trump setting records of the type that you simply put don't want to set.
Harry N., great to see.
And that's the reason why he ultimately paused the tariff, why he listened to maybe one adult in the room. And it wasn't about the market. It wasn't about the economy. It wasn't about tariffs. It's about his ego. Now, despite what those numbers show, it's incredible. Fox News is still trying to spin everything here as a victory for Trump. It's a win. It's a win. You're gonna have so many wins. You're gonna get tired of winning. You're gonna hate the word. Play the clip.
Here's the thing. China was always the end game. Trump won. He's doing exactly what he said he would do. He said there would be short-term pain for long-term gain. He literally got everybody in the world to come to the table, or they're trying, they're calling, they're flying in, they're trying to make a deal. And he sent a message to those countries that were willing to make a deal with the United States. Let's do something mutually beneficial for both of us. Right now, his timing was right to the edge, and it was a business decision to get everyone to the table so everyone can win. If there's a standoff, nobody wins. But now, this is the biggest win for America because we've got a level playing field. We are no longer a doormat for other countries. We've got a president who has the capacity, the ability, and the stamina to fight to make sure that we are at least a manufacturing country again. You say,
you know what's the greatest part? As she's reading the script, it's not even her words. This piece of shit is reading the script. And speaking as somebody who's reading the script, Lutnick also sung Trump's praises, saying that this wasn't a walkback. No, not a walkback, because Trump is the best negotiator ever. Play that clip.
That's where we are today.
So, Mr. Secretary, tonight you can definitively say this was not a walkback. This was not something that the bond markets were cratering and you were worried about it.
No.
That this is part of your plan. There's a lot of folks saying there were just mixed messages that really left the markets jittery.
Donald Trump is the best negotiator that there is. He understands how to do these things. And these were crystal clear instructions. No negotiating till 2 days ago. He would be willing to negotiate, but broadly. And then yesterday was, I'll do bespoke. And bespoke, that's what launched it. I mean, every country wanted to come and talk to us. And what are we supposed to do? So Scott and I went in and talked to him about what do we do and how do we do it. And I think this is where we are. So the president made his decision. He truthed it out with Scott and I in the room, just the three of us together. And this is where we are. Scott, Bessent, myself, and Ambassador Jameson Greer, who's our USTR, just have so much work to do with so many different countries. But we've got to make fair deals for America. And Donald Trump said, for the big countries, the lead negotiator of those transactions is going to be Donald Trump. He wants to do it. He wants to drive it. And what could be more fun for Scott and I?
What's amazing is the fact that he could sit there and he could lie to the American people. But I understand why. Because right now, his neck is on the chopping block. You may have seen how many people are coming after Lutnick, claiming that this entire tariff stupidity came from him, that he was the one that put forth the memo. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. That's why I turn around and I tell you, you got to be a part of this community where truth actually matters. Facts matter. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.